Alright, what's going on, guys? Try back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video giving my thoughts on the recent Twitter kind of unofficial announcement from Bryan Singer that we're going to be seeing an X-Men Apocalypse live action movie. Should be hitting May 2016. Right, so X-Men Days of Future Past hasn't even come out yet, and the director for it, Bryan Singer, who also directed the first two X-Men movies, came back for Days of Future Past, basically said on Twitter really quickly that X-Men Apocalypse will be hitting 2016, or seemingly so. Now, it's as far as I know, it's not official yet. It's not 100% official, but if the director comes out and says it, and he's reliable, like, he's directed 3 of the X-Men movies we've had so far, and he says it's going to happen, it's probably going to happen. Plus, he's not the kind of guy that jokes around as far as what I've seen in interviews and stuff, at least not very much, not about something like that. So that's very cool to hear that it's at least probable that it will happen and it will get a release. I am extremely excited to see Days of Future Past. It for me is the most anticipated movie of this year, 2014, upcoming. Yeah, even more than Cap or the Spider-Man or anything else. Days of Future Past, X-Men. I'm a huge X-Men fan. I really enjoyed all of the X-Men movies. If you don't count Wolverine, Days of Future Past would be the 5th, and then X-Men Apocalypse would be the 6th for 2016. So that's pretty amazing to think that we will get a total of 6 X-Men movies. When you think about all the hype around the Avengers and everything, and they've only had 1, we're going to be getting 6 X-Men movies. That's amazing, man. I'm really happy for that. Now, this is actually something I've talked about a while ago in some of my videos talking about X-Men movies and what I want to see for some of the upcoming movies and things like this. And I really wondered all along why they've never done an Apocalypse movie. He seems like the perfect villain for a movie. We've had Magneto how many frickin' times? At this point, I like the whole Magneto is kind of in between. He's not really, he's not really a bad guy. He's a mutant. He's on, kind of like what they've done with him in the comic book series, where he's just not a flat-out bad guy anymore, but sort of like he's kind of become a little bit more reserved in his older age, and he's kind of like a mutant that's sort of between a bad guy. He's like an anti-hero. He's between a bad guy and I guess a good mutant. I wouldn't say good guy, but he's not good to people, but to other mutants he's pretty good. So especially with everything that's happened in the books recently, X-Men comics have just been, man, so awesome the last, I think, well, pretty much forever. The last like 20 years they've been really, really interesting, and they hold my interest, and I can continuously read them even up until today with the current X-Men books are just awesome. So one of the things, though, we've never seen Apocalypse in any of the X-Men movies. So it seems like a no-brainer that they would bring him in as a character and use him as a villain for one of the movies. I mean, out of 6 movies, if you've gone through Magneto a few times, you've gone through the whole Cure thing, you've gone through, all the other villains we've had, Sebastian Shaw and all the others in First Class. It's just a no-brainer. We're going to be getting the Sentinels soon. It was a while for that, and I'm glad they're finally doing that. Maybe for budgetary reasons, they didn't want to do it at first because it would have been too difficult. Because at the beginning, X-Men's budget was pretty low for the first one, if you guys remember. So I'm really excited for this. To get to see the Sentinels in Days of Future Past, and then to get to see Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse, it's going to be awesome. So I'm really excited for that news. I can't wait to see, even to see Days of Future Past, and then after that to see Apocalypse. Man, I'm a huge fan of the X-Men, and it's just so awesome that they're actually doing so much. Like, I love that Marvel is putting out so much content. The Wolverine, and then, Days of Future Past, and then a year off, and then another X-Men movie. That's like 3 X-Men movies in 4 years. That's awesome, especially when you compare it to like some of the DC stuff. We might only get 1 movie in 4 years, even if it's Batman or Superman or whatever the case may be. Marvel is just pumping them out. Even if it's Fox, Marvel tied to Fox, right? Even still, same with Spider-Man, same with the Marvel characters like the Avengers and everybody. Marvel is killing it, I gotta admit. So that said, there is some rumblings out there that Hugh Jackman may not return. I don't know how legitimate or how reliable that is, but that's what I've read online, is that Hugh Jackman may not return if they do another X-Men movie or another Wolverine project anyway. I'm not sure exactly if that includes Apocalypse, or if he's just doesn't want to do another Wolverine movie. But, you know, we've had him in, how many's it been now? Both the Wolverines. He's in Days of Future Past. He was in First Class for at least a cameo. So, you know, all in all, he's been in 7, with 2 focused on just him. 7 X-Men movies. If he, at this point, says he doesn't want to do any more, I don't think anybody can hold it against him. You know, compared to all the other actors that have played comic book characters, almost nobody is willing to stay for 7 movies. A big actor like Jackman, you know, who can do Prisoners and who can do other movies like that, I think we did pretty well already to get him in 7. So even if he decides not to for Apocalypse, I mean, you know, we can't really fault him for it. And I mean, there's X-Men, the thing about X-Men is that it's a huge roster of characters. It's kind of like the Avengers. Even if one movie Iron Man's not in it, or if one movie the Hulk's not in it, or Thor's not in it, or Wolverine's not in it, or Cyclops isn't in it, you know, there's enough other characters to fill it out. You know, it's just that people love Wolverine so much they keep wanting to put him back in all the time, which I don't have a problem with, but you got to think eventually Jackman's going to get just, you know, tired of doing it. So anyway, I'm really excited to see Apocalypse as a villain, just like the Sentinels too. Really excited and really happy about this news, because, man, I love the X-Men movies. I have since they started, and really excited to see Days of Future Past and Apocalypse. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about X-Men Apocalypse, what you think of Apocalypse as a villain. I think he's badass and intimidating as hell, and, you know, he kind of makes Magneto look like nothing. So that's cool, and just really high hopes and expectations for the rest of the X-Men movies. I don't know how many we can get, but I think we've kind of been spoiled already when you compare it to other superhero teams like the Avengers. At least Marvel finally got together and got one, but I mean, DC, Justice League still hasn't happened. You know, how many others? And here we're going to be getting 7 X-Men movies. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev. I'm saying peace.